poppin', YouTube? I'm back with another review, this time reviewing the AMS Neve 1073SPX. Let's get into it. Like I always do in my videos, I'm going to start off with sound examples first. This way you guys can create your own opinions, have your own conclusions. I'll have my own, and if you guys stick around, you'll get to hear them. So the things I've gotten to use this preamp on are vocals, guitar, and then I'll throw in a mix of something that I use that on. I won't use any EQ on the vocals, maybe just some reverbs or something like that. And that way you guys can get a sense of like a actual song with that preamp being used on vocals. This is also sort of a comparison between the Neve 1073SPX and the Warm Audio 73-EQ. I don't own the unit anymore, so if you guys want me to go back and record something, that's just not possible anymore. I use what I got back from that to pay off this preamp.
I haven't thought about you in a couple months. Once upon a time I thought you were the only one. I haven't thought about you in a couple months. Once upon a time I thought you were the only one. I haven't thought about you in a couple months. Once upon a time I thought you were the only one. I haven't thought about you in a couple months. Once upon a time I thought you were the only one. I haven't thought about you in a couple months. Once upon a time I thought you were the only one. I haven't thought about you in a couple months. Once upon a time I thought you were the only one. I haven't thought about you in a couple months. Once upon a time I thought you were the only one. I haven't thought about you in a couple months. Once upon a time I thought you were the only one.
Alright guys, this is a setting that is common. People will crank up the input all the way on a 1073 and control how much reaches tape or your DAW or whatever via the output. And on the output, we are not clipping. Here we go.
No merezco tu engaño, me traicionaste, me hiciste daño, corazón roto, tú me has dejado, creyendo en ti emité un payaso. No merezco tu engaño, me traicionaste, me hiciste daño, corazón roto. Tú me has dejado, creyendo en ti emité un payaso. Ya no vuelvas más, no aguanto la pena que tú me das. Que no supe nada, es lo que me da vergüenza.
If you guys are still here, I'm going to assume you guys want to hear my opinions, and here they go. So, I absolutely love this unit. I love it, I love it, I love it. It is the best preamp that I have owned. Honestly, this could even be the best 1073 that I have used. I haven't had the luxury to use any of the vintage ones, but I've used the Vintech, I've used the Blackline Audio, I've used the BAE, I've used the Heritage Audio, I've used the Warm. The main difference between units like the Vintech and the BAE is that architecturally, those are meant to sound more like the vintage units. This one is meant to be more modern, and it has the advantage of having the Marinaire transformer, which is what was used in the original vintage ones. So I'm here with Chintong. Say hi, Chance. I just wanted to mention that I believe most units use Carnhill transformers. Stam, I think, is one of those oddities where they try to like do their own reproduction of the Mariner transformer. It's not a problem, just something that people should be aware about. AMS Neve owns the patent to the Mariner transformer, so they're currently the only manufacturer that makes it. Everyone else uses something else. So if you hear like a slight difference in sound, it's most likely because of that. And we really are splitting hairs here. If you're considering buying a 1073 and you're not sure if you should buy a BAE, a Vintech, a Neve 1073, a vintage Neve 1073, I guarantee you won't be unhappy with any of those. They're all great units. I think a lot of you would even be happy with the warm audio unit. Let's be real, it's really subtle. I think there's just a little bit more of a smoothness that goes on with the AMS Neve. We are talking about a unit that costs almost triple the price of the warm audio unit. I would expect it to be better. Though a higher price doesn't always mean a better sound, I do think this is one of those instances where that does play out. Though that doesn't mean there aren't things that do bother me. For example, the output knob. It doubles as a button where you can monitor the input, how much gain is going into the EQ, and it also lets you monitor the output. The problem is it feels a little flimsy, like it feels like if you push it the wrong way, that thing is coming right off. Honestly, it's not that big of a deal, but I have to let you guys know in case you guys are using the knob, you're like, whoa, like is this knob loose or something? No, it just, that's how it feels. Once you start pressing the button and using the unit more and more, you start to understand why it is the way that it is. But nonetheless, it does feel finicky. I would have loved to see it be a lot sturdier. The second thing that bothers me about this unit is not so much of a problem with the unit as it is architecturally, this is what a Neve 1073 is. And it's that the high shelf EQ frequency is fixed at 12K. It's not a big deal. But the warm unit, being a cheaper unit, you can actually pick which frequency you want to adjust. It gives you a couple options. Going back to the output knob real quick, I think I would have liked to see a stepped output knob. And I know for a lot of you guys that's not a big deal. It's not a big deal for me either. Let me clarify. Last time I said this, you guys ran with it. I tend to use this in post. That does not mean I don't track with it. I mean that I receive a lot of music that I didn't necessarily record. And I want to run it through my unit in post. The last thing that bothers me about this unit is the DI input. The actual jack itself is made of plastic on a unit that costs almost $2,000, where the warm audio unit costs 3 times less and it's a metal input jack. I would have liked to see a metal input jack on this. Despite the things that bother me about it, I think I still love this Neve 1073 over every other one that I've used. Let's be real, at the end of the day, the priority is making music. But I think just seeing AMS Neve, there's nothing you could tell me. This is it, baby. That's it right there. That's the unit that I was looking for. I'll finish this video by saying this. Whether you go for the BAE, the Vintech, the Neve, the Warm, the Heritage, the Stam, the Black Lion Audio, the list goes on and on, right? You are going to be happy, and that shouldn't stop you from making great music. For me, this just instills confidence. And that's it. Those are my thoughts on the AMS Neve 1073SPX. I hope you guys liked the video. Share, subscribe, and comment. More than anything, I care about comments. So I want to talk to you guys. See you guys next time. Peace out.